Now we're going to have a quick look at using a search engine. So remember, first of all, you need to launch yourself onto the internet, and I'm going to use Google Chrome as the browser of choice here. This launches us onto the internet. The search engine we're using here is Google, not to be confused with Google Chrome, the browser. Remember, the browser is the way of launching us onto the internet. Once we're launched onto the internet, we then use a search engine which enables us to search for things on the internet. So now that Google, the search engine, has opened up, the cursor is flashing in the top left hand corner, which means when you start typing, the typing will appear in the search box at the top. And once you've made your search, press the enter key on your computer, and that finishes the search off for you. But we're not at the website yet. We are presented with a list of results. So we're looking for the BBC's website. And what Google does, Google will go to the internet, will find every bit of information about the BBC that it can, and as you can see here, it says that it's found 1,530,000,000 search results for the letters BBC in 0.84 seconds, which, as you can appreciate, is pretty fast. What Google then does is it puts everything into some sort of order. So down this page, if I use the scroll wheel on the mouse, I can scroll down the page here. Everything that you see will have some sort of relevance to the letters BBC. Very often, the link to your website of choice will be the very first link that you see on the screen, but not necessarily. But as a beginner, when you're making an internet search using Google, click on the very first link that you see. Everything that you see with a line underneath it, normally in blue text, is a link to a website. So here we've got the BBC homepage, which is actually the page that we're looking for, but underneath you'll see these other links as well. So this is going to be a link to the BBC News, BBC Sport, iPlayer over here. Every time you see blue writing, it's a link onto a website related to the BBC. So let's click onto the BBC Home. So this is the link that takes us to the BBC's website. And once we're on the website, we can use the scroll wheel on your mouse to go up and down the page. We have other tabs along the top of the page here which allow us to navigate around the BBC's website. So if we want to read the BBC News, put the pointer onto the News tab and left click once, and it takes us to the BBC News. And from here we can use the scroll wheel on the mouse to scroll up and down the page to read the news. We can put the pointer on the scroll bar on the right hand side, and once the pointer's on the scroll bar, if you click and hold the left click button down, you can drag this scroll bar up and down, and as you can see, this takes us from the top of the page, and if we just keep going until we can't go any further down, that's the bottom of the page there. It's yet another way of being able to navigate up and down the page. So far we've seen two ways to scroll up and down the page on the screen. We can put the pointer on the scroll bar and drag it up and down the page. We can also use the scroll wheel on the mouse to go up and down the page. I'm going to show you three other ways you can scroll up and down the page. The first one is to use the page up and page down buttons. Page down to the bottom and page up back up to the top. We can also use the up and down arrow keys. Arrow takes us down a bit more smoothly than using the page up and page down buttons, and then arrow up scrolls back up to the top of the screen again. And we can also use the home and the end buttons. The end button will take us to the bottom of the page, and we can see the scroll bar is down the bottom here telling us we're right at the bottom of the page. And if I now press the home button, that takes us right back up to the page again. So end takes you to the bottom and home takes you to the top. Also within this page here We've got other subcategories of the website here that we can click on. If we wanted to read the business news, we can click on business here. So we can scroll up and down the page. Everything is clickable, even the photographs are clickable. If you wanted to read about a story in particular, we can left click once onto the photograph. If you're unsure about whether something is clickable or not, when you see the pointer turn into the hand symbol, you know that means there's a link there to be clicked on, and that will then take you through to another page on the website. Let's try another search. Down to Google Chrome, left click once. This takes us to the search engine Google, and from here we can type for anything on the internet. Let's have a look at the weather. Type in weather, click on the enter key on your computer keyboard. And Google has found 1,700,000,000 results for the weather on the internet. We don't really want to be going through all of those different websites. Usually at the top of the page is the information that you're looking for. And here is the information for Birmingham, which is the nearest city to where I am right now. It shows you the weather for today. But if I scroll down the page, the very first link to a website is here for the BBC's website again. But as we scroll down, we can see other websites for the weather. We've got the Met Office here. And as you go down, you'll see other websites. AccuWeather's another big weather website. We've got the weather.com down here. And you can feel free to click onto any of these links here, and they'll all show you information about the weather. Let's close this down again. Let's try another search. Click on Google Chrome. It launches us onto the internet, and Google is our search engine. Let's go to YouTube's website. Type in YouTube. Press the enter key. Okay, so Google has found everything on the internet relating to YouTube that it can, and it's found 9 billion search results in 0.454 seconds. But as I said previously, most often the link to the website that you're interested in is probably going to be the very first link that you see on this page, which is this link here. Put the pointer onto it, left click once. And this takes us to YouTube's website, where, as I'm sure you're aware, you can find videos for more or less anything you like, whether it's music, documentaries, news, sport, comedy programs, videos about cats, you name it. And it all starts off with the search here as well. So if you're looking for something on YouTube's website, where the cursor's flashing, you can start typing. And then press the enter key, or you can click on the magnifying glass over here to search. And then using your scroll wheel, you can go up and down the page and click on the video of your choice. What I suggest that you do is spend some time clicking on Google Chrome or the browser of your choice and searching for something on Google. And then what you can do is scroll down and feel free to click on some of the links and play around and have a look at some websites on the internet.